I had long been interested in what was going on with luxury restaurants because I was receiving endless press releases from big-name chefs explaining how they were opening up second, third, fourth restaurants miles and miles away from their original restaurants, particularly Gordon Ramsay, Alain Ducasse, who's French, Joel Robuchon. And what clearly was happening was that luxury restaurants were going from becoming bespoke experiences to something like Chanel or Gucci. And the question in my head was, were they any good?
Warning. Listening to this audiobook will make you hungry. Hunger can seriously affect your ability to concentrate, and after a few pages you will be incapable of appreciating either the grace or the subtleties of my writing. You will also become confused by the twists in the narrative. As a result, you may fail to grasp my justifications for some of the dodgier episodes, particularly the Paris thing. I need you at the top of your game when we finally get to the Paris thing. It is therefore in my interest to give you some tips on how to listen to this book.
Well, the subtitle of the book is In Search of the Perfect Dinner, and so I'm regularly asked, did I find the perfect dinner? And I go off on some Cartesian philosophical debate about whether you can ever find perfection. But the answer is I came close on 3 occasions, and on all 3 of those occasions it was in the individual restaurants of people who didn't have other places. 2 of them were in Tokyo. One was a place called Yakimura, which serves just 9 people a night. And Mr. Yakimura is always there behind the bar doing wonderful things with crab. The other was a sushi experience when it was just me and the sushi master. It was the smallest high-end restaurant in the world that night. It had only 1 guest, and that was me. And the other was in Paris, a place called L'Astrance, 28 seats, a chef called Pascal Barbot, beautiful, bright, fresh flavors. But I was quite struck by the fact that those near-perfect meals were not the ones served by Gordon Ramsay or Alain Ducasse or Joel Robuchon, but by the individuals out on their own.
Do not attempt to listen to it after dinner. You might think that being sated you will not succumb to hunger. This is true, but you will succumb instead to drowsiness, and that is worse than hunger. Unless, of course, you're the type of person who does not eat a dinner substantial enough to engender drowsiness, in which case you are not greedy enough to be listening to this audiobook. Turn it off. You won't enjoy it.
After people have listened to the audiobook of The Man Who Ate the World, I hope they're going to feel slightly hungry. This is not just a book for foodies. It's narrative non-fiction, a travel book, and partly memoir. I wanted to investigate who I was. How did I, who used to be, I would say, a proper journalist investigating the evil that men do, end up in my early 40s sitting on my sizable bottom eating for a living, and do I like myself as a result of that? So what I hope is that people will be taken on a journey and look at the whole business of the restaurant in a slightly different way, perhaps with some of the skepticism that I express, but also with some of the pleasure when you find the beautiful things.